So you can come into a symmetrical, relaxed position. Go ahead and spread out and either close your eyes or take a soft gaze. Take a moment to feel your body in this new orientation, releasing back into the support behind you. And again, slowing down your breath, finding that steady rhythm. Setting an intention to keep that slow, steady rhythm throughout our practice. Your eyes can be open or closed as it's useful for you. And let's slide arms overhead, stretch out really long through your arms and legs. And then interlace your fingers, press out through your palms, flex your feet, pull your toes back towards you, reach out through the heels of the hands, the heels of the feet. And then release and bring your right knee to your chest. Give that knee a good squeeze in, releasing deep into your hip crease. And check that your shoulders are dropped. The chin is dropped, so the back of the neck is long. We'll straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling. Flex and point your foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. Bend your knee back in, open your knee out to the right, and then straighten part way or all the way out to the side, grounding down through the back of the left leg. And then release, bend your knee, bring it across, spinal twist. Open out through your right arm. And each pose is a whole different world of sensation. What are you noticing here? Staying in your twist, try straightening your right leg on a low diagonal, right arm on a high diagonal, so fingers and toes are reaching away from one another. And then roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in. Take a circle or rock with your knees, feeling what's touching the floor. This can be a great massage for the lower back. And then grab hold of just the left knee. Drop the right leg long. Squeeze the left knee in close. And then straighten the left leg up, finding your edge right where it is. Flex and point your foot. Circle your ankle a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. Bend your knee in, open your knee out to the left, and then straighten part way or all the way out to the side, grounding down through the back of your right leg. What effort is useful to hold this shape and what's not needed? Can you keep stripping away everything that's not needed? Release, bend your knee, bring it across, spinal twist. First with a bent knee. And then try straightening the left leg on a low diagonal, left arm on a high diagonal, fingers and toes reaching away from one another. And then release, roll back onto your back, bring both knees in, circle or rock. We'll drop the feet to the floor, getting set up for some core work. Start by drawing the belly in, pressing the lower back down from the inside. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Exhale, lift head and chest up. Inhale, release down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Let's take two more. Last one. And release. Now bring your right knee in and your left elbow across so they come towards one another. Stretch the right leg long. Bring it in and reach it long. Knee in. Reach it long. Knee in. Reach out. One more. Same thing, other side. Left knee in, right elbow across. Stretch it out long. Knee in, reach long. Knee in, reach long. In and out. Let's take one more. And release. Stretch long through your arms and legs. Bring your knees in again, little circle or rock. And then find your way up to sitting. Let's come on to hands and knees, tabletop. If you want to pad your knees and you have something, feel free to put a little cushioning, a blanket or something. Have hands flat, right under shoulders, knees under hips. And we'll take a few rolls through the spine, starting by lifting the head and tail, arching. Exhale, round, draw the belly in. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curve. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curve. Now, inhale, arch. Shift your weight forward. Bend your elbows straight back and dip part way or all the way to the floor, pressing up from there. Round. Arch. Go forward to dip down. If going all the way down is too much, just go a couple of inches. Press up from there. Round. Arch. Go forward to dip down, elbows hugging the sides of the body. Press up. Round. Arch. One more time, dip down. Press up. Round, and then sink back to child's pose, releasing hips to the heels, forehead to the floor. Coming back to that slow, deep breath as often as you need to, checking in. With arms out in front of you, walk your hands over to the left and then pull back through your right hip, stretching right side a little more. Come through center and over to the other side. Pull back through your left hip, stretching left side a bit more. Come back to center. Let's lift up through table and come back to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. And here you might want to pedal out your feet a little bit. You could bend one knee as you press the opposite heel towards the floor, waking up the backs of the legs. As you settle onto 2 feet evenly, your heels can be up or down, your knees bent or straight. Prioritizing lifting hips away from the hands as high up and back as you can. And then let's walk hands and feet towards one another and hang in ragdoll. Feet hip width apart, parallel. You can bend your knees a little or a lot. Letting the weight of your head drop. If this feels too tight for your hamstrings or even through your back or neck, you might rest elbows on thighs or take a little pressure out of this with your hands on ankles or the floor. Find a position where you can let the weight of your head really drop. Bend your knees a little more and slowly roll up, coming all the way up to standing. Stepping up towards the front of the mat. Let's keep the right foot at the front of the mat. Step the left foot back, coming into warrior one stance. So you can separate your feet as far as you need, so you can have a deep bend in the front leg without your knee going forward of your ankle. We're going to square hips towards the front, even though they won't go all the way square. And then slowly straighten the front leg. And then slowly bend it again. Take your full breath to arrive. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. One more, lengthen. And bend, holding here. Inhale, arms up. And then open out, warrior two. Shifting hips and arms to the side. Check that the right foot and knee still point straight to the front of your mat. And then inhale, slowly lengthen the front leg. Exhale, slowly bend it. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. See if you can do it without jerking it straight or bent. Nice and slow. Lengthen. Slow bend. One more. Staying bent now, we'll bring forearm to thigh. Left arm rotates and comes overhead, so you form a straight long line through the whole left side of the body, from the outer edge of the left foot all the way through the torso, through the arm, past the tips of the fingers, as long as you can. Let's release, hands to the floor, and then walk your hands around to the other side of your mat. And we're going to turn to face the other side, setting up for warrior one on the left. So you can bring the upper body back up. You can start with hands at your hips, squaring your hips towards the back of your mat now. Left foot and knee pointing straight ahead, right toes turned in at a slight angle. Inhale, slowly straighten the left leg. Exhale, slowly bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. One more. Holding here, inhale, arms up. Open out, warrior two. Then adjust your footing as needed. Check the left foot and knee straight ahead, right toes turned in. Straighten the left leg. Slowly bend again. Take the full breath to arrive. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. How slow can you make it? Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Last one. Holding here, forearm to thigh, top arm rotates and comes overhead. So the whole right side forms a long straight line, as dynamic as you can, from fingertips all the way to the outer edge of your foot. Last breath here. Let's release, hands to the floor. Now we're going to turn to face the wide side of the mat. Bring the feet to parallel with one another and let the upper body hang, releasing. We'll use this as a little bit of a resting pose. You're welcome to take your feet closer or further away from one another. You're welcome to bend your knees a little or a lot. And you could use a block for your hands or something like a block if it's difficult to reach the floor and you need some support through your arms. See if you can find a place where you're able to let the weight of your head hang, feeling the heaviness of your head drawing the rest of the spine long. Let's inhale out to a flat back. So if your back is not flat with your hands on the floor, you could either bend your knees a little bit or use something like a block under you so that you can feel your head connected to your tailbone, lengthening out away from one another. We're going to bring one hand to the floor under the center of the chest or to the block, the opposite hand to the sacrum lower back area, and then roll open through that top shoulder. See if you can extend the top arm up, going towards a straight line. May not be straight, just go in that direction. Top fingers reaching away. See if you can feel how when you reach through the top hand, it naturally brings alignment, both shoulders in line. Can you still feel your head and tailbone lengthening away from one another? Last breath here. Release and switch. Bottom hand to the center. Top hand can start at the sacrum, rolling open through the top shoulder. And then extending top arm high, going towards straight long lines. Breathing deeply. Release both hands down, and again fold any arm position here. So if there's a variation you want to take, you want to grab your feet or interlace fingers behind your back or take a handful of your hair and pull it towards the floor. Any arm variation that's interesting for you. You don't have to be creative, but feel free. Let's walk the hands to the front of the mat and step back into downward facing dog. We'll get set up for pigeon pose on the right side. Slide your right knee forward. Scoot back through the left leg. Help the hips get as low as they'll go. And if the hips are high, you might tuck something underneath them, a block or blanket or cushion under the hips. As you fold forward, you might use a little support under your upper body. You could rest your head on stacked fists, or if you have something like a block or cushion you want to lean into, you're welcome to. Can your breath be slow and deep here? Let's bring the upper body back up. Take your time. If you have something under your right hip, slide it out of the way so that you can lean over. Just tip on over to your right hip. Bring your left knee forward. And then shift onto your left hip. So you can just switch the knees to the other side. From here, send your right leg back. And that might bring you into a pigeon pose. You might need to adjust a little bit. So you can find the angle of the front leg that feels right, any props that are useful, coming down to rest on elbows or head to your hands or head to the floor. Breathing here. So When we do go right up to our edges, reactivity may happen. Your body may go into some kind of stress response, shoulders lifting, jaw clenching, breath tightening. So what we can do is practice noticing, how is it to be here? If my shoulders lifted, can I drop them? If my jaw clenched, can I release it? If the answer is no to that, it might be the pose is a little bit too much right now, in which case take it down a notch or come out of it. But gradually over time, what we can do is increase the places where we're able to be at ease, not just when it's familiar and comfortable, but when it's a bit edgy. And so slow, deep breaths, relaxed face are two tangible places you might check in with. Let's bring the upper body back up. If you have something under your left hip, slide it out of your way. This time, when you lean to the left, you can bring your right foot all the way to the outside of the left knee, getting set up for a seated spinal twist. For some bodies, this is going to work better with the left leg straight. Feel free to try both and then do the one that works better for you. Right foot is to the outside of the left knee. Bring your right hand to the floor behind you. Left arm will either hug the knee or hook to the outside of the knee. As you inhale, sit taller. As you exhale, rotate more. Look back over your shoulder. Breath by breath, see what's possible. A little more length, little deeper twist. One more here. And then release, switch, and unwind. So right leg can be straight or bent. Left foot to the outside of the right knee. Right hand to the floor behind you. Left arm hugs or hooks. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist even more. Feel the sit bones grounded. Lengthen and rotate. One more breath. Let's release, unwind, and come onto your back. You can bring your knees to your chest. Take another little circle or rock with your knees. Drop your feet to the floor, getting set up for bridge. Feet hip width apart, parallel. Press your feet down. Lift your hips high. Once the hips are high enough, interlace your fingers behind your back. Shrug your shoulders underneath you, spreading upper back and lower back away from one another. 100% effort, 100% surrender. Can you find all the effort useful to be in this shape and let it be just like it is? Take your arms out of your way, roll down, and rest. Let's grab the soles of the feet on the inside. Happy baby. Press your knees towards the floor, releasing the inner legs. You can do this in stillness or with a little rocking side to side. You're welcome to keep your legs bent or work on straightening them part way or all the way, one at a time or together. And then just check in with the rest of your body. What else might be needed for you to feel complete in this practice? Do you want to finish with a restorative pose, a twist, an inversion? Is there a part of your body that needs a little attention? Is there a pose you like to do that we haven't done yet? You can just ask yourself what's needed now. If anything's needed, go ahead and do that. And if nothing's needed, you can start getting comfortable for your final resting pose, which might include adding layers, adjusting clothing, grabbing props, self-massage, whatever you need to do to get as comfortable as you can, preparing to settle into stillness. take the time you need, wrapping up, and eventually come into a symmetrical, relaxed position. Just want to find a place where you're even through your arms and legs. You can let go of the control of your breath. You might take a couple of extra deep exhales or even a sigh. And then let it be natural. So through the nose or mouth, shallow or deep. Just a couple moments of not doing anything. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, gently waking your body up again. And let this movement increase gradually through your wrists and ankles, eventually stretching out long through your arms and legs. When you're ready, bring your knees in. And roll to one side. Pausing there for a moment. Use your hands to help you up to sitting. We'll bring hands together at the heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today.